Welcome back to this week's episode of Going for Gold with Gia. This weekend was a big one for Notre Dame Fencing. We competed at the ACC Championship and had an incredible showing. This year, the women won their 5th consecutive ACC team title, and we had 3 individual ACC champions. Zoe Kim for women's épée, Ahmed Hashem for men's sabre. They were not able to join us this week due to travel schedules, but here with us today, we're joined by one of our individual champions in sabre, Chelsea Delsoin. Thank you for joining us today, Chelsea. We're so happy to have you, and congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, of course. I'm glad to be here.
Ruth, I think we need to rename the podcast Winning the Gold with Chelsea. Winning the Gold with Chelsea. The Golden Girl is here, for sure.
Oh, yeah. So not only did Chelsea compete for individual, she also competed on for the team event. Mm-hmm. So she had an extra special weekend, and you only dropped 1 bout. Is that correct?
Yes.
That entire weekend?
Yes.
That's crazy. So Gia and I were talking in last episode how the hardest thing about postseason competitions is having to compete against your teammates. And you had an especially difficult weekend because not only did you have to do that during the pools, but you also had to compete against one of your teammates, Siobhan Sullivan, in the semifinal bout to get into the finals. And then you also had to fence against your teammate Magda in the final bout.
So Magda was a defending NCAA and ACC champion, and Siobhan was a runner-up for NCAA. So she had to go through the elite. How did you do it? What were the keys for the success? I truly, as a coach from the sidelines, I saw something different. We want to hear from you. What transpired between both of those competitions and how you felt about it?
Honestly, it was like a really tough week again at the beginning of the week, and then I just knew that I wanted to harness all of my energy or whatever that was giving me that worries into ACC week. And I knew I had a job, and like especially as captain, I didn't want to like let my team down in that aspect. So I knew for sure that I wanted to bring the energy to the team competition, and I think we definitely succeeded by doing that, and we ended up winning. And then for the individual aspect, I knew that I had a goal for myself in my freshman year. Last time I fenced ACC was my freshman year, and I had placed fourth individually there, where I had to fence a teammate at the time to make podium, and I didn't make it, but I knew that this time I still wanted to make podium, whether or not that would be having to fence a teammate or not. And so I just knew that once I saw the bracket of first having to fence someone from UNC and then making it after that, and then having to fence a teammate bout after that, I just kind of like stuck to the basics of what I was doing. Obviously, we fence each other here all the time at practice, so I just knew that whatever it was that I had to do, I just tried to pay attention to detail and like make little to no room for mistakes in my bouts.
You just mentioned that having a tough week going into it. Were you nervous because of the fencing aspect of it? And how did you handle all of those going into it? Because you felt that you were completely with it and prepared and embracing the moment.
I don't know, it was kind of just like a switch for me. I just knew I had to lock in. I've been fencing for years, and obviously not everything's going to be a smooth road. So I just knew in a moment like this. You had a speech with us last week about facing that fear and being able to overcome that fear, and like right now within this time period is not the time to have that said fear. So I knew, despite, even though I wasn't afraid of anything, despite there's other things going on in my life, I knew that I had to buckle down and just not only do it for myself, but do it for my school and my teammates as well.
Echoing that about fear, did not see any of those in you. And I asked a few times during the competition, what is it different? You mentioned about locking in, and people use that term, but you had an edge, a little bit of anger, which was really healthy for the competition, we felt from outside. And then laser focused. And your leadership qualities truly came through it, while individually encouraging the others and installing confidence in your coaches that everything was going to be okay. It usually should come from us, but you are giving that signal, and obviously through the team competitions, you carried the team, despite having a superstar lineup with you, carried the team on your back. Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
What did you learn about yourself?
I guess something that I learned about myself this weekend is honestly to never really doubt myself, especially the individual competition. After I had fenced the semifinal bout against Siobhan, I was kind of like, okay, now I have to fence my other teammate Magda, who obviously I know is like an Olympian. She has a lot of amazing accolades. She's an amazing fencer. I truly do respect her. And so I was a little bit nervous going into it, and I kind of just remember walking up and down the strip like at least 10 or 12 times, just walking back and forth. And I was just walking back and forth, kind of just getting myself ready mentally for whatever the challenge was. And I know in cases like that before, where if I have to fence a teammate and it's something, if I already had won against one teammate and I have to fence another, it's usually, it doesn't end well for me. But in this standpoint, I kind of was just like, whatever happens, happens. I'm going to put my all into it. I've already been doing really well this weekend, so I just need to make sure I have that same energy that I had within the team competition and prior to the individual competition in that same bout, in the final bout.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because while you were fencing your teammates, first Siobhan and then Magda, the coaches were not watching because we want to remove ourselves. So were the scores 15-14 both times? Or I know in the finals it was 15-14, is that right?
Yeah.
How about semis?
I believe semis was 15-13 or 15-12.
Very close.
Yeah, it was close. Both bouts were close.
Take us through it on a 14-14. You're fencing Magda, defending national champion, many times junior world champion. So 14-14, what's going through your mind? Because you scored the touch going forward. So ended up like attacking her.
Honestly, I was kind of like, anything could happen right now in this moment. Either it could be like truly anything could happen. Like it wasn't anything of fear or nerves. Like anything could happen in that moment. Like it can go in my favor or it can go in her favor. It's like really 50-50 chance in that standpoint. So I just knew again that I had to really just put my all into that last touch. Like not again if I'm going for attack, go for attack, make up my mind, have a plan of that. So if I want to go back, literally get out of the way or go forward, one or the other. It wasn't anything like crazy in that point for me, because I was just like, it's 14-14. Like, it was a really intense bout. Again, she's a really amazing fencer. So I'm glad that it was a bit of a challenge for me as it was for her as well. So I'm just really appreciative of the fact that it was able to be 14-14 and then I ended up taking the gold.
So you're the MVP of an entire women's competition in all three weapons. Obviously, that, the huge accomplishment as well. Coming back from the competition, tell me what you felt.
I still felt the same. I still felt like the same me. I know it was a great weekend for me, but I still want to remain humble. I still, again, am here. I want to be here for my team. The next thing we have to look forward to is regionals and NCAAs. So I'm kind of just here working with my team at practice, at conditioning and lift, making sure that everybody's ready for those said competitions because, again, we're still in season. The season is simply not over. So
it's never over.
Yeah, it's really never over. So I just want to make sure that, it was a great result, but we still have to continue moving forward.
Your parents were also there this weekend.
Yes, my dad was there.
Yeah. So after you got done with your interview, and obviously you won for individual, did you go straight up to him? What did he say to you? What did you say to him?
Well, he actually had a flight to catch, so it was really brief. So I kind of went up after the bout, and then I just went up to my dad, and I saw you talking to my dad, so I just went up to him, and he was like, I'm just so proud of you, sweetie. He's like, but I do have to go, but again, I'm super, super proud of you. And then I could see that he was really excited. He actually surprised me in coming. He didn't tell me that he was going to come to ACCs or anything like that, but we have our Ubers connected to each other, so I got Uber notifications
No
to
way.
Newark Airport.
Okay. No one could do anything without being notified in the modern world.
So I was like, wait, is he coming here? And then he ended up surprising me, and I was super excited. So I think also with that, knowing that I had not only the support from my team, but also my obviously family from home, but then my dad being there in person. And this was his first tournament he's been to this year for me.
What a great time.
Great time for him and myself as well.
Yeah, I saw him. He was trying to come down to get you right before your interview. And he's
Yeah.
like, please, I need to get out there. She just won. So I know he was super proud of you.
Yeah.
And it's so great that he was able to come and celebrate your victory. Chelsea, you're a junior, and talking about the team competition and how this is the 5th consecutive women's team ACC title that we've won. What was the atmosphere among the women, and how did it feel personally?
I mean, it was really great. I remember at the Friday night dinner, I was telling Siobhan that I was just super excited for fence, and I was like, we all need to have this, like, amazing energy, like, going out there. We were super hyped at the dinner table for some reason. Like, we're just sitting there, like, eating our pasta, like, yeah, we're excited to fence, we're excited to fence. And then kind of going into it that next day, we did, like, our women's huddle, and we were kind of just having, Ari was leading it, and from there, I can feel that the momentum was starting to, like, rise and, like, get higher and higher, especially throughout the day. And it was really crazy to me because even though we fenced Duke and it was late at night, I think the energy was the most intense at Duke compared to what it was, like, starting the competition. And I really love the fact that, like, because usually sometimes it goes down, but it's the fact that, like, it went up for us. So I think that was really amazing. And then I also like the fact that I was able to contribute to the team as an upperclassman, where this is like my second ACCs that I had fenced. My last time I did it was my freshman year, so it was really fun being able to see it from, like, 2 different perspectives, because freshman year I went into it and I was like, this is my first ACCs, like, I'm nervous, but, like, I don't want to show my nerves, but I just want to do well. And then now going into it here, I'm like, oh my gosh, I see, like, the freshmen, some are nervous, but, like, they're doing amazing. Obviously, like, Zoe, she took the championship for epee, so I was just really happy to be able to see it from both sides like that.
You were named as the captain of the team this year. Obviously, you've grown so much as a person, as an athlete, in every possible ways that was given the trust to you. What does it mean to you, and how has it helped you in every facet of your life?
It's really an honor being captain this year, and I'm really glad that I was chosen for that position. And it's definitely affected my leadership, I would say, in a positive way in our squad. Like, there's never any, like, need to really direct them, which is really good. Kudos to Christian for that. And so I think with that being said, everyone kind of falls in line and always does their job. So I think it's good that I'm able to kind of reinforce whatever needs to be reinforced. And I think outside of fencing, it's definitely made me more confident in things that I'm doing, especially, like, in school or just even in socially. Like, I'm able to be more, like, advocating for, like, my friends or standing up in situations where maybe I wouldn't have before. Wow. So I think that it's definitely a bonus for me in being captain. As
a coach, we see how much you are respected by your teammates, but your empathy and really kindness to the others, it tops everything. And we're so grateful that you are part of our team and one of the leaders who could truly shape this program to the next new level. How's your day looking today?
My day's looking pretty good. I do have a presentation after this, so I'm going to prepare for that a little bit before or after this interview, and then head over to knock that out. And then
love it, the confidence.
Yeah.
Knocked it out.
And then we have conditioning. I have a lesson and we have conditioning later, so it's just kind of regular day of practice, nothing crazy.
Regular day in a band.
And are you doing anything this weekend? Is that what?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be going back home this weekend, so
nice.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm excited to go back home, spend some time with my family and friends.
Beautiful. You know, family is everything, and she comes from an incredible, mom and dad who are huge supporters, very objective, and throughout these 3 years of Chelsea being here, having the guidance from them to learn much about it, but always the support. They're incredible humans who are, parents of this incredible young lady, and we want to tell you to take those great wishes to your family and appreciation.
I will,
Then
for sure.
Gift of you giving to us.
Oh, I will.
Congratulations again, Chelsea, and to our other 2 ACC champions, and to the women's team for their ACC title. And that's a wrap for this week's episode of Going for Gold with Gia.
With the incredible
Chelsea.
Yes.
And we will see you next week. And as always,
Go Irish!